Hi, and welcome to Surf Shots Gaming. I'm Tyler, and with me as always is Dave.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Dave. And James.
Mhm.
Happy New Year.
We made it. We made it.
I think I did.
Yeah, keyword
Hey.
in there is I think.
Hey, okay, let me rephrase that. We made that us three made it COVID free.
That is true. That is true.
Oh,
And
So
it wasn't like COVID didn't try on a lot of occasions.
trust me, I know. My
Mhm.
neighbor has it right now.
My coworker, one of the other art teachers, his wife has it. The other one had it over Christmas break, but is now back to working. And work just went remote again because of Omicron incidences. So trust me, I know.
So what does going remote mean for your esports team?
Well, we can do that remotely anyway. So it was, I had the informational meeting this week, and next week I'm going to have tryouts. Now they're going to be online, including Smash Brothers. Unfortunately, I would prefer to do that live, but until Nintendo fixes their infrastructure issues, that's kind of how we got to do things anyway.
how many years is that going on?
This is now, we've only done it for one full year now, but this will be our third semester. Yeah.
I meant Nintendo fixing their infrastructure issues.
Oh, ugh.
It's about the same as St. Louis road construction.
Yeah.
It's never done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Never done. Well,
Nope.
welcome back to the podcast. We get around here about once a week, talk about the games we've been playing, have some good times, some laughs, some chuckles.
Tyler
And
says once a week, but we've been averaging about once a month. So, well, we'll try.
I am one of my personal goals this year is to get it closer to once a week, as well as getting some Let's Plays up online each week too. Like I've got
Okay.
2 of the Let's Plays of Dark Souls up. I guess that's as good a segue as any to what we've been playing. I've been
Yep.
playing
Yep.
Dark Souls, and I've died over and over and over. That game is brutal, but the worst part is it's fair. I'm never like the game cheated me. I always know I screwed up. So it has me just coming back for more every time.
That reminds me when I was playing Bloodborne, it was definitely like that. The only time I ever felt the game was unfair was I got working on the old the old Hunters DLC, and some of those boss fights were just absolutely brutal to the point it was also like, I'm done. I'll just beat the game. I don't need to beat the DLC. uh,
I could not do those.
This is my
I
second. Sorry, go ahead.
I would forget the controls between playthroughs because there'd be a week or two, and then I would just leave myself or leave the character in a very hard place and go, "Oh, I got this next time." And then 2 weeks later, when I'd go back, I would not have it. I would
it's
just have
also,
death and a
so,
complete lack of understanding of how to avoid it.
it's also the kind of game though where you might be in this situation and one of your little ones walks into the room and then they see a creature on screen and then it's just like, oh, there's therapy in 20 years. Yep.
It's Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nope. Nopeamon. Yeah.
As a nope, nope, out.
Nope. Hey, get out. Bloodborne certainly was like that at times, especially with all the Lovecraftian influences that the game gets into later in the game.
They just have a water gun in their neck that squirts red water.
Yeah, no, it's wine, sweetie. Like at church.
Kool
Grape
Aid.
juice.
It's
Grape
Kool
juice.
Aid.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. Yep.
But yeah, been playing the Dark Souls. Been playing still a little bit of Guilty Gear.
Okay.
That's always fun. I'm level 8, still on my way up to heaven.
Okay.
Uh,
9, right? 9 to get into heaven?
it's 10 and then heaven.
I
So
gotcha.
so I've got a little bit to go. And then
Mm-hmm.
the last game I've been playing a lot of, I've got it set up on my TV upstairs, is Halo Infinite. I want to talk about that for a second because it's good. And you don't need to play the other Halo games because it's basically bad guys here kill bad guys, which I'm all
Okay.
about.
I'm listening.
I
Uh,
counterpicked that.
in what did you say, James?
I believe I counterpicked that on our fantasy.
I think so.
There are some
Which
points lost.
yeah, not as many as I lost on Deathloop.
Yeah.
I totally forgot what all I picked.
I can pull that up later if you guys want, but what I will
you can
say,
tell how much I did.
right? What I will say, that makes this Halo game is the grapple hook. The grapple hook is the greatest thing known to man because I've got fast travel. I can ride ships, or I could see I think they're called ghosts flying above me. I kid you not, just point up, shoot my grapple hook, grapple up to it, kick the other person out, and get in and start flying it mid-air.
Nice.
First-person shooters with grapple hooks are always fun. They remind you of what Spider-Man could do if he ever decided to carry a piece.
I don't
That is
know.
true.
I always found them to be a little difficult sometimes because I remember trying to play Widowmaker in Overwatch, who features primarily a grappling hook, and I always would try and aim the grapple hook, but it always seemed like I had to aim it slightly above where I was actually trying to go for it to ever actually work. I don't know. Maybe that's
If
just a
used
bad
creatively-
example.
If used creatively, everywhere can be a sniper spot, though.
It's true.
That's true.
And with Halo Infinite, they took a lot of time making sure the feel of the game was there. And so that grapple system, I'm just there will be times where there's a giant wall, but instead of trying to go around it or finding a ship or something, shoot up the grapple at the wall where my momentum keeps me going up, and then my grapple recharges, go to the next part. So I can climb any wall now just because through momentum.
Nice.
It's like a great physics game where I'm like, what can I break today?
Oh, so Breath of the Wild. Got it. Okay.
Although I will say this, they present it as like a really open game. It's not Breath of the Wild in terms of that. There's an open area where you can do like little missions, gets, but the main story missions are still very linear.
Okay. I gotcha.
But it is something I would highly recommend, even if you don't play the multiplayer, to at least rent and play because it is fun.
Okay. Nice, nice. I still think I might want to try the Halo games from the beginning. I might buy the Master Chief collection. I know you and I had discussed possibly doing like a let's play,
Stream.
like of us doing co-op and like titling it like Dave loses his Halo virginity or something,
Right.
Because truth be told, I've probably said it multiple times on this podcast. Back in the day when Halo came out, I was a GameCube kid, and it wasn't until much later where I stopped being such a Nintendo fanboy and I can only play Nintendo. But then the next console I got was a PS2, and then the last one I got was an Xbox. And then, but by that point, people had talked up Halo so much that, but all they would ever talk about is multiplayer. I'd ask, like, what's the story for this? What's the plot? I don't know. I just play multiplayer. Ugh, I don't care about
I've
a
also
plot in
never
a video
played
game.
Halo, so I've also never played Halo, so you're not the only one.
Yeah, gotcha.
What I will say that is your Halo is my Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't get into it when everyone else did, and by the time I got into it, all they could say was, ooh, Jack Sparrow, and made it out to be much bigger than it actually was. I was like, no, you guys are overhyping.
I gotcha. Yeah. Uh, that happens a lot, it seems, with like some things that I enjoy. Like, I know everyone always seems to say, The Dark Knight Returns is the greatest Batman comic of all time. And then I read it after hearing that all those times, and I'm like, that's a very good Batman comic, but personally, I prefer The Long Halloween,
I was gonna go with Hush myself, but
Hush is by the same author. Yes, so I would agree with that too.
but that's
I
what I've
just
been
have a
playing.
lonely,
Yep.
I have the Lonely Island song stuck in my head now. This is the tale of Jack Sparrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Complete side note here: if you guys have not seen it, on Netflix they have Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine Spectacular.
okay.
It's basically just
I've
an
seen
hour-long Lonely Island sketch. Where by
It's
the
nice
end of
that
it,
it's
sorry, go ahead.
nice that he's gotten so cool and being willing to, at least have a bit of fun with himself about that stuff.
By the end, he summons the power of his old self with the long hair. It is
Oh,
it is magical. Well worth a watch.
wow. All
But
right, cool.
enough about Michael Bolton's flowing locks back in the day. Dave, what have you been playing?
Oh, wow. I've played a lot. So I listened to our last podcast before we got on today just to remind myself because I finally beat Scarlet Nexus. I really enjoyed it, but that game is definitely 15 to 20 hours longer than it should be. If they had condensed it down to something, a little more streamlined and made it only about 40 hours, I probably would have liked it way much more than I do now. But as of now, it's just like I really enjoyed that, but it overstayed its welcome, I think. And they're also coming out with more DLC. And the thing about the DLC, though, is it's really kind of lame. And it's just like there's no big story expansions or, extra missions or anything. What it is it's just additional, like, snippets of what you can do because there is a like affinity system with your teammates and party members of the game, and all it is more of those. So like story affinity section part 7 instead of just going up to 6, and I'm just like, I've beaten the game. That would have been, that would be great if you had like an additional thing for me to want to do that with, but you don't. You know, I don't find the side quests are pointless. All they are is like, kill 2 of this type of enemy and, then redeem your reward. And I haven't found any that actually, furthered any plot or whatsoever. So I'm kind of glad to be done with that. I enjoyed it for what it was. I really did. There was some really cool stuff with the plot, but it definitely overstayed its welcome. And I think that's what kind of took it down a peg for me. So in the meantime, I have played several games since then. That's kind of what I've been doing on my weekends and just kind of catching up. But I also decided I wanted to play some games that I knew were going to be kind of just short and sweet little
Mhm.
experiences. So what I did was I've basically played 4 games and I've completed 3 of them. I played and beat Metroid Dread.
Ooh, nice.
Absolutely loved that game. That is one where it was almost a little of the opposite. I 100%ed it. It took me around 15 hours, and I still wanted more. So that was one I felt could be, maybe a little longer, but it definitely didn't overstay its welcome. That one was short, sweet, but I will have plenty more to say about that here in a bit. Okay.
Okay.
I also managed to time it out perfectly. I did not realize Spider-Man Miles Morales is a Christmas game.
Oh.
It takes place during Christmas, and so I played that in like the middle of December, and it's like, okay, perfect timing. Great. He's got a Christmas tree. I've got a Christmas tree. Yay! And I really enjoyed that. That was another kind of short and sweet Spider-Man adventure. Honestly, there were parts about that I liked a little more than the first Spider-Man game because this time, it's Miles Morales. He's a new Spider-Man. So it made sense why I have to kind of level him up to learn things because he's a new Spider-Man. Whereas it was times like that in the original one, I'm just kind of like, shouldn't Peter Parker know this crap already? So there was that. I really enjoyed the story for that. That game felt more low. Like that was like going to be a DLC, but then it was just like Sony was like, the PS5's coming out. We need something. Like they did with Metal Gear Solid 5. Ground Zeroes.
Did you play that?
I did play that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still need to play Phantom Pain.
I know. And I know what you're trying to do and trying to set up. So, but I played through that. Really enjoyed that. Story was a lot of fun. And then I also decided to play Luigi's Mansion 3. I really enjoyed that too, and I loved the idea of instead of it actually being a mansion that's infested with ghosts, it's a high-rise like Vegas style hotel, and each level going up the hotel is like a different theme, and a lot of them are ones that you would see in Vegas. So like one is medieval times themed, the other one is Egyptian themed, the other one is all magic, like bunnies popping out of hats kind of stuff. One is like a modern day like dance floor with like the DJ ghost in the background. And then they got like a group of ghosts all dressed up like the Jabberwockies, that come out on the dance floor and attack. And I'm
Nice.
like, I'm laughing through 90% of this game. It was great. And I really enjoyed that. Also played that all the way through, and I also managed to acquire all the gemstones. Why I did that, I don't know, but they don't give you anything. They're just there.
Completion
And
stuff.
then, yeah, completion stuff. It would have been nice if they like unlocked something for you. And Luigi's Mansion still has this multiplayer mode, which I haven't even bothered to touch just yet.
With
So,
Luigi.
with Guigi. Guigi. He was made with ectoplasm and coffee accidentally. And I'm like, yes, because that's how science works. And now I have started up Recore, which is a Xbox One game that was an Xbox exclusive. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it, but I think it's going to be one of those experiences. Like I've kind of put it on the back burner now because I decided I wanted to build a bunch of model kits recently, so I've been doing that instead. But it's one of these that I'm just kind of like, this is fun, but it's going to be one of those experiences where am I probably going to remember this, like a month or so after I'm finished with it? Maybe ever so slightly. The most I'll probably remember is, oh, Recore. I had fun with that. And that's about it. So that is what I am on now, and I'm trying to get that finished up before we do the decide the new game for the year type stuff. And someone makes me play Metal Gear Solid 5.
So, for listeners who don't know what we're referring to here, us friends here, we have a kind of cool thing we do every year where we draw names and give a game for them to play as their first game of the year officially. Something that they haven't played before that we've really enjoyed and think they would like. And Dave has not played Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which story, say what you will, but gameplay is a perfect game. It is a
Kidnapping
perfect
simulator.
the what?
Kidnapping simulator.
It is the kidnapping simulator, yes. But it is perfect gameplay. And you need to play it. So I don't care who I need to bribe. You're gonna play it.
Well, if I get Dave's name, it's going to be Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh, okay, great.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna
Hello
say,
Kitty Island Adventure: The Phantom Pain.
funny. Well, James, have you been playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure?
Oh, just about. I have been playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I have about 70 hours logged in at this point because I just play when the kids are asleep and I'm going to bed soon myself, like a little bit, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Kind of really getting a feel for it. This is actually my second Pokemon game that I've owned. The first one being Sword. I played Red or Blue and an emulator back in the day, but this is my second one, and I'm gearing up and preparing for the Legends of Arceus Are Us. That's coming out later this month. Which I'm excited about, despite my pun that I made.
So James, me and you were talking while you were playing that, and you were talking about how it was a cakewalk, and I kept saying, "Wait till the Elite Four."
Yeah, no, the Elite Four is fine. Most of the champions were easy. It was the last one that wiped out, got like 8 one-hit KOs on me.
Wow.
You were and you were like 10 levels above it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That was some
Jeez.
nonsense.
So, a couple things I found out.
Is what that was.
A couple things I found out about that Garchomp. That was the one you were facing there. One, perfect IVs, perfect EVs. Two, it had a hidden ability that I forget what it is there, but it basically made it even tougher. So, and you can only get that hidden ability by using the Poke Radar. So you wouldn't have even been able to have had that Pokemon by that point in the game.
Well, I kept putting Dialga with pressure out just to try to wear it out of its freaking dig move. Nope, that never happened. It used dig 8 times on me.
Oh yeah, it also maxed out its PP.
Oh, Tyler, you might have to bleep that.
PowerPoints.
Yeah, no, it just destroyed my team. And you heard me say 8. That's not a miscount. Sometimes I would put one out so that I could revive another one that had like an ice move in the hopes of taking it down. Like all I needed was one shot, and I could not get it. So I was like 20 levels above it, and I got it.
So James, have you done a second run yet of the Elite Four?
No. I've been busy mining.
Because she leveled up and has a new team.
No, thank you. At this point, when I can transfer things from home, I'll complete the Pokedex. And by that time, Arceus will be out by then, so...
You'll wipe your hands of it.
Yeah. I will be moving on to Breath of the Wild Pokemon Edition.
Breath of the Wild Pokemon Edition.
between then, I've noticed that the Untitled Goose Game, which is now the title of it, is only $10.
Oh.
I've played that. It's fun.
And I'm strongly considering trying to not have my Switch in handheld mode, which it almost exclusively is nowadays, and maybe putting it on the TV, because I've heard the soundtrack to it is, because it's an adaptive soundtrack.
It's delightful.
Yeah. I often play without sound on everything, so I feel like if I get that, I'm going to have to somehow have the sound. Because, I mean, of course, I got to hear the goose honk.
Oh, yeah. You got to hear the goose honk. And
Yeah.
You got to hear every little bit of mischief it gets into, because that goose is a word I would have to bleep.
It's basically going to be like our college campus simulator almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the college we went to had a bunch of geese there.
And
They
also
were
was
mean.
considered and it was also considered a wildlife preserve. So you could not touch these geese, and they were cocky about it.
They were mean thugs. I remember exiting a building. This is almost exiting a building. I was at the glass door, and I saw a girl run this way, and a goose chased her. She was fine, and I had the reaction you all are having, like, ha 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 ha, mean goose. And I exited the building like a fool. That same damn goose came after me, and I was running, and it started flying. I started like running to the left. It veered left. It's like beak. I looked behind me, like I saw its beak open, and then I veered right. It kept on its left trajectory, but those things were mean.
Yep. And
I mean, it was getting to the point that like if they found a nest, because they were getting so overnumbered on the campus, that they were shaking the eggs, so wouldn't have any little baby goslings walking around.
They were certainly territorial.
And
I mean, I didn't feel like my life was in danger, but they seemed like they promised pain.
I will elicit upon you a feathery torment.
All right, guys, we're gonna start up a game company. First game, the Goose Apocalypse.
The Goose Apocalypse.
You know what?
It could be a really
good. It could be like a zombie style game, only you can't fight back.
Yeah, and then you start and you then realize that they're getting smart. Does that goose have a Glock? Internet, make this happen. Make it happen.
Yep.
Please.
So have you been playing anything else, James?
What?
Have you been playing anything else?
I got Brilliant Diamond when it first released, and I've been playing it as anytime I have time to play, and I have 70 hours, if that tells you. No, that's a long answer. No.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let's go into our main topic of the evening here, our personal games of the year. So, like I told you guys earlier, we're open format here. Whatever that means to you, you can kind of lead the charge with that. So, Dave, let's start with you. What does that mean to you?
Okay. So for me, when I heard you say that initially, I was thinking, of course, I knew you would probably mean like, games that we've played this year, but I took it also more as like, kind of what came out this year. And so I have two best games of the year. They did come out this year, actually. And they really were, in my opinion, kind of the best games I have played for the year. I played a lot of stuff, and some games, really did come close. Like I was almost tempted to say, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, because I did have a ton of fun with that game, but ultimately just Metroid Dread. It left me with. It was so great to see, such a return to form for the Metroid series. I loved the plot. It is a nice, really, it honestly could be considered the ending of the Metroid series. It puts a nice pin in it. They could definitely do more with it, of course, but who knows? It might be like that situation where uh, clearly the first SpongeBob movie was meant to be the end of the series. Now they kept doing like all the stuff in the middle, but that's what like the director of the movie and the creator of SpongeBob said. He's just like, I wanted to kind of create the true ending for the series while I still wanted to. Yes, things can still go on, but it's just like this is how it would, finish off. And I think that's what they have done here. Now, yes, they can definitely still do more. There's still stories that could be told in between several of the Metroid games, but this was a really great finish, and there was a lot of stuff I really enjoyed. Now, I know some people are just like, the story wasn't that great, and I'm just also kind of like, well, here's the thing. There were 4 other games worth of plot that you needed to know for this to make sense. So for us Metroid fans, it was perfection. For you folks that are just getting started, of course you were going to be sitting there like, what's going on? All right, that was just going to happen. Okay, so
For example, Ridley.
yeah, Ridley's not in this game, surprisingly. Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
He is this is like one of the few games he's not in. What I did appreciate, though, was because he's kind of gotten the shaft for several games ever since Super Metroid. Kraid is in the game, Ridley is not. So I enjoyed seeing my big giant green dinosaur Godzilla alien boy in full-on 3D finally. Well, that you can fight in 3D. No, it was just also the big villain in it is not like a space pirate or a giant brain in a jar. It is a rogue Chozo, and so the Chozo are the aliens that raised Samus and that like enhanced her DNA to make her the way she is, and also the ones that designed her power armor. So it's really cool seeing these other Chozo warriors wearing the same armor as you, and you get to see how that armor works in that culture, and they're battling you with the same stuff that you're using, so it's just like crap, and so it just made for some really cool stuff, and just to kind of see everything come full circle, I was really happy.
It's like if a Koopa got a fire flower and used it against Mario.
Exactly. Yes. Only these ones can well, they're the ones that designed it, so they can use it better than you can. And I did have one more. Metroid Dread would be my single player one.
Okay.
But my favorite game to play with friends this year so far has been Back 4 Blood, and that is really scratching that itch that Left 4 Dead left behind. I was unfortunately reading an article earlier today, though. Well, it wasn't an article. It was an old Reddit thread, and I had a bunch of these like Valve Steam apologists saying about how much better Left 4 Dead 2 was because of the gore system and stuff like that. And I'm just like, shut your stupid face up and stop sucking on Valve's. I better not finish that sentence or we're going to get in trouble. But it just little stupid critiquey things that they're like saying is what makes the whole game, like not as good. And I'm just like, shut up, you immature teenager, stuff like that.
I've
Was the
said
word
this.
you were looking for Valve's pipeline?
What?
Was the word you were looking for Valve's pipeline?
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against Valve, but these kids are also asking like, yeah, Valve just has such a unique system where games don't have due dates, so everything they make truly is a work of art. And I'm like, no, Valve learned how to make money without having to do anything, so they don't. Valve is just a storefront anymore. The last thing they made was Half-Life Alyx, and then before that, I don't know,
Aren't they
Portal
coming out with
2?
a console soon?
Supposedly. I'll
Yeah.
believe it when I see it.
It's coming out in February. And console's a strong word for it. It's really a portable computer because you can load your own OS on it.
From what I understand, it's basically like a glorified TV set plug-in PC. Yeah.
So what I was gonna say, Dave, is I can see where Left 4 Dead, people can like some features of that versus Back 4 Blood, but what really makes Back 4 Blood for me are the modifiers, the card system. That is genius. Every time you play, it's not the same playthrough. You want to make it tougher for yourself? Make yourself a crappy deck.
Yes. Yep, but it's just, I don't know. I'm getting a little tired of all of these Valve apologists and like Half-Life 3 is going to be so amazing. And I'm to the point, I'm like, Half-Life 3 is not going to come out. They've realized what they've done. They've realized that the hype for that game has built up so much that if they were to even release it, it would in no way match people's expectations and would be considered an absolute failure of a game by doing so. So instead of releasing it, they're going to just do what Duke Nukem Forever probably should have done and just be like, nope, we're not going to do this.
Yeah, and plus, they can't count to 3.
Oh, no, they've never.
Half-Life 2, Portal 2,
Team Fortress 2.
even freaking Dota 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, those are great choices. James, your game of the year, or games of the year, or what does that mean to you?
Okay. Yeah, you told me the topic. I didn't read it in the texts earlier. Told me the topic right before we got on this, and I thought I'll come up with something by the time it comes to me. There's Solitar. It comes with most PCs.
Solitaire. Okay.
Yeah, but I actually have not played that in probably a decade. I mean, I'm
here. Something just fell on the floor.
Oh.
Sorry.
What was it? It was the game that I was supposed to play.
Oh, Control?
Yes. From what I played, it was amazing. Could not complete it because of time reasons, and at this point, I would not know any of the controls or Control anymore. So I'd spend a good hour of my rare free time probably running the character into a wall. But it was beautiful. The gameplay, the story. It was it had a mundane veneer that melted away into the psychotic.
Kind of like an X-Files vibe.
Very
Yeah.
much so. I get what you mean exactly. Like, it's meant to look like this drab office building from basically the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and that's part of the plot. They can't have
Yes.
technology in there that's over a certain age.
They can't have new representations of things
Mm-hmm.
because then some things in there would change
Mm-hmm.
for the worse, and it would just cause a lot of chaos. So conventions were very established in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you just walk into this office building and oh, how things get weird and cuckoo banana pants.
Yep. When the geometry stopped making sense in that game, like the first time around, I'm like, wait, what?
Yes,
Oh, it's gonna
yes.
be one of those.
I wish I could have completed it because it was delightful.
Also,
Fair.
doesn't help that isn't your PlayStation 4 also mostly a Netflix machine for your children?
And Disney Plus,
Oh,
which I thought was going to be, oh, I can watch what was it? The Mandalorian. Oh, I can watch that. No, it plays Bluey, which is an Australian cartoon dog. The show is fun, but no, it's mostly just a kid entertainment system.
okay. James, I think I've maybe asked you this once before, but I'll ask it again because I'm just
Have I tried whiskey? I've considered it, but I want them to get good grades in school, so
no,
I
no.
have.
I'm just curious about your thoughts and opinions on Caillou, and do you wish he really would die of cancer?
Uh, Caillou is a terrible monster. His parents are enablers, and yes, he will be no use to society when he gets older. So if he does have no, I mean, if he was real, of course, I wouldn't want him to die, but yes.
I imagine you and your missus probably breathed a sigh of relief when they announced they were canceling him.
We only had to deal with like 1 or 2 episodes of it, thank goodness. Like someone gave it to us because I guess they hate us, and we tried it out, and externally we're smiling like, oh yes, this is a cartoon to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Internally we're yelling at the TV screen because
Mm-hmm.
lots of bad lessons.
Well, also, isn't it because Caillou is also, I believe in the books, he's supposed to be literally like, a step above baby. Whereas in the show, he's depicted as being much older. So,
Yeah, but it's it's an unrealistic expectation for parents. He's like, I want an ice hockey ring, and his parents are like, okay, let's build one in the backyard.
Ugh.
No, no, that cannot happen in real life.
Here's the $1 million question, though. What's worse, Caillou or the police state that is Paw Patrol?
We have not experienced Paw Patrol one bit.
Is there a Paw Patrol ban in your house?
We've just dodged it still somehow, just like we've somehow dodged Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow.
I know.
I don't know many Chuck E. Cheeses that seem to exist still, though, is my thing.
We have
There's
several out
one-
here.
Wow. We only have the
that is
one
a
still
7-minute
down by
drive
us.
from our house.
Oh. We only
We have
got the Chuck E. Cheese ghetto spa and resort that seems to exist in the town, about a half hour away with the mall in it.
Spa and resort?
Yeah, it's in a shopping center with like big lots and a bunch of beauty supply shops
Oh,
and a
I-
golden corral.
I'm just picturing Charles Entertainment Cheese, or rather a teenager in that cosplay costume walking into a windowless room with a massage table and being like, where are your pressure points when you say spa and resort?
Oh, I can update you though on. Sorry to completely break down, but we've talked about this before on the podcast about the bar and nail salon here in my area that is supposedly the front for actually a swingers and sex trafficking club. Burn to the ground.
Wait, it burned to the ground?
Well, I don't know about completely to the ground, but mostly to the ground. Uh, we haven't quite got the words on it, but I'm watching the news report on it, and I'm just like, yeah, that's arson.
Because I was talking to my family about that.
Yeah.
Evidently, they were cleared of all charges of that. It was someone making false rumors about them.
Really?
Yeah. This was the place that was the swingers club, allegedly.
What has been going on in my hometown area since I left?
Apparently a swingers club.
My goodness, I've been gone about oh yeah, it's been 11 years almost.
Yeah, it's been about a decade plus. Nope. But okay, let's get back to the topic though. Enough again about swinger clubs burning to the ground and possible dead hookers in ditches, things like that. All right. So Control was your game of the year, James. Did you have like another for like multiplayer, or I know you don't get much gaming time, man.
I think the closest to that is Pokemon Go. So because we trade Pokemon.
Or Roll20.
Yeah, we have been using Roll20 a lot.
Yeah.
It's an online interface for D&D.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Yeah.
I
Because
guess
I got a lot of the books.
Mhm.
A lot of them.
I guess I should go here, huh?
Mhm.
You're the only one left.
All right then. Well, if I'm going to go with a solo game of the year, I'm going to go with one that has taken the most hours from me, and it's not Pokemon. Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh.
Yeah.
That game, chef kiss. Just Monster Hunter World, obviously bigger areas,
Mhm.
better graphics, whatnot, etc. But how fast you get into the gameplay in Monster Hunter Rise, how streamlined they've made so many things. I can get to the monster killing right away. It's
Mhm.
fantastic. And I'm very much looking forward to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak next year. Their expansion.
Okay.
It fills my heart with joy and murderous rage to kill all the monsters. So that is my solo game, even though that's kind of a multiplayer game because you can get in random groups. But if I were to go multiplayer game, you've already talked about Back 4 Blood, so I'll skip that one.
Mhm.
I gotta go Halo Infinite.
Okay.
It is so. As you may know, I love Destiny a lot.
Mhm. You've mentioned it.
A few times. But I've never really liked the player versus player of Destiny, mainly because you don't all start off with the same loadout. You have your own builds with your own guns, and so um for the pale as the moon neckbeards who do nothing but grind that game, they have an unfair advantage. Halo, you have the same loadout as everyone else. You do not have anything special. The only thing you can have special is how you look.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
And so you take that fairness, couple it with a really fun physics engine, and
Mhm.
you can just get some craziness. Like I was playing a match earlier this week where there's a guy coming at me with a tank, I use the grapple hook to grab a energy coil and just throw it at the tank and blow it up.
I did see Video Game Donkey talk a lot about the grapple mechanic, and it does look like fun. And it's just like, why hasn't Metroid figured this out for Prime? Grapple beam, give me that.
You know what? I bet you someone at Retro watched Halo Infinite and was like, that's it. That's it. Yeah, James.
Well, I was gonna say I would be willing to do at some point I could come over to your house and we could do like a let's play with that
Yeah,
maybe as well.
I'm totally down. And what's cool about that is, so as of right now, it does not have split screen, but it does have crossplay with PC.
Oh.
And the multiplayer is free for everyone.
Nice.
I
just remember the time that we did Smash Brothers Ultimate as the double Pichu team.
Yes, that was a good time. We should do that sometime too for a let's play. Just the troll play.
You almost got
so you're gonna
kicked
play
out.
Marvel versus Capcom 2 as the serve bot only?
Actually, I am one of the lucky few. I still have my PS3 with Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on there.
Same.
Because you can't buy that game anymore.
Well, you can, just you're going to need to shell out a ton of money, and it's going to be on a console without online play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you're going to do it legally.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. That was one thing that sucked about the Dreamcast version is you had to unlock so many characters, and the point system for that was garbage. So it took forever.
I really hope that so there's a YouTube a Twitch streamer named Maximilian Dude who has really been pushing with a campaign called Free MVC2. So there is a growing campaign online for them to re-release Marvel vs. Capcom 2
I gotcha.
with rollback netcode.
I can imagine the only issue probably facing them is Disney, of course.
If you had asked me about that 4 or 5 years ago, I would have said yes.
They like money.
I was going to say, because in the past, and this is what happened to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they didn't own them all. They didn't own X-Men. They didn't own the Fantastic Four, etc.
Yep.
The Mouse House now owns them all. They have completed their Infinity Gauntlet.
And they like money. They might like money a lot. So I mean, if they were to get some licensing rights that gave them money, they would probably do it.
Yeah, and it's an easy turnaround too, because there's not much they'd have to do. The game's already made. So I think within the next 5 years we'll get a re-release. If not and my
if not a new game.
I don't know about new game. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite tanked miserably. I mean, for Pete's sakes, they found that the 5 DLC characters for that game were on the disc, but you still had to pay money to play them.
Oh.
It was
I thought that was Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
I think it's both.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was not a good game. And they would have to do a lot of fixing for them to trust him with a new Marvel vs. Capcom game, because Street Fighter V also very rough start. You know?
I mean, it's good now, but it took them, 4.5 years.
Yeah. And even then, I still feel like it's not as accessible as like Street Fighter 4 ever was.
Yeah, it's definitely more geared towards the the true like fighting game,
The FGC, yeah.
yeah, for those of them who are actually going to compete in fighting games, yeah, it's great for them. But whereas you're a guy like me, I play Street Fighter for the plot. you know, what's the plot, Dave? It's totally not Jerry's butt.
It's thighs for days.
Yep, legs for days.
Legs for days. All right. So we're coming up on an hour here. So I want to do one last thing here real fast before we call it for the night.
Okay.
What are you guys looking forward to gaming wise this coming year?
Arses are us.
I'm going to capture God.
Oh,
I get the
wow.
character because I ordered it directly from Pokemon as a pre-order. Arceus beanie character.
Nice.
I don't know exactly. It's to the point where I've really stopped reading a lot of video game news websites, and I just kind of try and hear more about that stuff from word of mouth.
Mhm.
And I find that way my level of hype is kept in check, and that way also then my excitement for things is genuine for when things are announced. So I'm just kind of excited to see what comes. I'm really looking forward to some of the games that were like announced at the PlayStation showcase that we live streamed and reacted to. I'm really hoping Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. And I'm really wanting to see what if Nintendo's going to bring not a and not that they've had any really small games this past year. I mean, we had a major Pokemon release, but for me, for Pokemon, I guess I got to be in the right mood. And the last one I truly played was X and Y. I pumped well over 120 hours into them, but then it was just like, I think I'm good for a while, and I haven't picked up another one since. But I would love to see another 3D Mario. That's probably not going to happen. I would love to see Breath of the Wild 2 come out. Maybe happening. Don't know. If it is, I only can imagine though it's going to come out in October or November, in time for Christmas. That would be my bet if I were to put money on it.
It'll be my first pick on the fantasy league again.
Yeah, apparently I got to look forward to Metal Gear Solid 5 apparently this year. So I'm also looking forward to some games that have been heavily rumored, or also other games that I know I have enjoyed, but I have to finish now the full experiences. Like Doom Eternal was excellent, but I have not bought or played the DLC yet, which kind of completes the story. So I know I need to do that. And I want to do the same for Ghost of Tsushima. I want to kind of get the PlayStation 5 edition, which includes the Icky Island expansion, because I platinumed that game. I did about everything you could do in that game except the multiplayer. So just more Ghost of Tsushima is a good thing for me. So I'm just really excited to see what's coming. I don't really have any major preconceived notions of things I'm just going to enjoy. It's just kind of like video games are awesome, and I'm going to be there for it. Yay.
I got to point out, didn't Ghosts have a grappling hook? No.
It did it did, but it wasn't like you could grapple onto everything. There was like certain dedicated points,
Oh. I was going to try to make the point of grappling hooks make everything better.
Well, it certainly was a fun game.
I'm saving that for
play
my
someday.
PS5.
Mm-hmm. Have you gotten it, by the way?
He has it.
I have it.
Yeah.
I haven't opened it yet.
No, I know you had ordered it, and I know you're trying to hit the weight loss goal. I know you're close.
It is literally sitting upstairs next to the TV in the box.
Within view of the treadmill.
So, before I go into what I'm looking forward to this year, this is the legitimate thought I've had to help me get to that faster, is a Let's Play combination where I play Dark Souls, but every time I die, I have to do 5 minutes on the exercise bike.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
I die.
oh, yep.
For me, what I'm looking forward to / am dreading is the end of February. Because the end
Why?
of February, within a 7-day time period, has Horizon Forbidden West, Elder Ring, and the new expansion for Destiny.
I might have to do Horizon day one because
I
I
played one of the
really enjoyed the last one.
Yeah, I really did enjoy hunting robot dinosaurs.
I have not played the DLC for that game either.
I own it.
Something
I
to
have
do.
the DLC and I haven't played it either.
Yeah.
Dave, you got a good excuse now. Load it up on your PS5, run it at that 60 FPS.
Oh, like butter. Yep.
Like butter.
I already transferred my save over, so it's on the PS5. I just haven't yet. It's just, I don't know. I seem to keep forgetting that I have like certain games that need DLC. I probably should just take the the game box case and stick it in front of the TV, and it's just be like, oh, what game should I play? Oh yeah, I should play that.
I still remember the hit of adrenaline I would get when the first shot hits, but it doesn't take down the robot dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
And the robot dinosaur is now pissed and knows where you are.
It was still so cool though with those arrows that would like create like a shockwave and it would just blow armor and stuff off of them.
Yes.
And then he would like run over, grab the mounted gun on the thing, and then just start shooting at it with its own weapon.
Yeah, when you shoot the T-Rex with its own missile launcher.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Always good.
Well, guys, great way to start the year. Good games coming out. Good games we've played. Dave's going to play Metal Gear Solid 5 at some point this year.
I was going to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Yeah.
Solid Zero. Solid Zero. I'm combining multiple Metal Gear. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Ghost Babble.
I don't even know if you could find a copy of playable Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
With how much eBay I do, I could find a copy.
Okay.
This new version, you if you played through all the versions of it, you would have Hello Kitty, then you'd have Solid Kitty, Liquid Kitty, Naked Kitty, Venom Kitty,
Solidus Kitty.
Solidus Kitty. I'm still upset though. My brother was just like when Metal Gear Solid 3 came out, him and I were just sitting there and he's just like, so if we're going through all the states of matter, do you really think they would do gaseous snake? And I'm just like, maybe. Although plasma snake would probably be better.
Yeah.
Old fart snake. That was gaseous snake.
Old fart snake.
Right, well, Dave, James, thanks for joining tonight.
Oh, no problem.
Glad I could finally join.
Yes.
Several months.
We will try to be more consistent with our episodes. But if you like this, please leave a comment, leave a like, all that jazz. Share with your friends. The more, the merrier. It really helps us out. I'm being sincere. So
leave comments.
Show us pictures of your fan artwork of us or of video games in general. Because as the art teacher, I love that crap.
It's
or
true.
You can react to this.
Yep.
Not doing anything for you?
Just no Bowsette artwork. I have banned my students from giving me that.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to expand on that. No artwork.
No, we don't.
No Bouette, no Bowsette, no Shy Guyette.
Okay, expand on that way. Yes. No.
We are excluding all the ets. But Until next time.
No James
Yeah.
that's either.
No, your Rule 63 name would be Jasmine.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, and I'm just gonna throw this out here either too, because the world is sick. No sexy Pokemon. That's wrong. That's just wrong.
Oh, Gardevoir, we're so sorry.
Gardevoir, freaking Lopunny is doomed.
I guess Gardevoir was it when I used to hang around the dark sides of the internet in
Oh no,
college.
it's still one of them. It's still one of the ones that is focused on.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And not Mrs. Popo, aka Jinx.
Bo.
Things like that can really just increase the misanthropy in someone.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, on that horrifying note that we've given you ideas for, please don't send that art. But game on.
Game on, everybody.
Game on.